Welcome, my friends, to the show that never ends. Welcome to the Breakfast Club, my friends. Here we are on a Monday, February the 12th. Mid-month already. There you go. 2024. And as usual, we're going to check in with the World Cup, see how the folks are all doing over there in the World Cup. But first, let's look at our regularly scheduled program and see if my buddy Derek is up, and see if Kirk is on the old group this morning. Let me just make sure that we're up and running live. So I want to double check that first. And there we are. And no one is here. Kirk is not here. He's not here before me this morning. That's okay. You're allowed to sleep in, Kirk. It's a Monday. No big deal. All right, my friends. It looks like I'm the only one here right now, but that's okay. I'm grateful to see all those people who are subscribed to our channel. We have 168 now. That's crazy. We were 120 to start the year, so we've gained like 48 people since the beginning of the year. That, to me, that's awesome. I guess some other people get that in less than one show, but I love it. I love that 168 people are tuning in. We have 10% of those people over there on the Telegram channel, which you can find in the link in our bio description above. And people are turning up. This weekend we did some good calls for Derek, and I put some stuff out for the weekend on the Telegram chat. And I'll be going over those again this morning. But so far they're turning out quite nicely. Abs, good morning. You're the first one. First one. Are you on the Telegram channel there, Abs? Just wondering if you caught those predictions that Derek and I were putting up there this weekend. I love it. Derek does a nice in-depth kind of quick look into what's coming up. And he's got some excellent insights. All right. Well, it's just you and me, Abs. I'm going to show everybody what the World Trading Cup, and we'll do the drum roll together. This was last week, the 7th. Let's have a look. Drum roll, please. Eugene, how's Eugene doing? Holy, Eugene disappeared. Eugene disappeared, my friend. And Matt. Oh, Matt overextended. Somebody overextended. What the heck happened on the weekend? Patrick Nils looking first place over here. Our little Canadian friend is in the 4th. And poor Darren Hill. Where did Darren Hill go? Come on, Darren, get it together. England's riding on this. Let's go. Michael Wallace. He's been consistently up around here, though. Now he's up at 95%. Good for you. Mr. Khan is 50%. Trades by Matt. Wow, did he ever drop? Ivan Sherman, Harley. Well, okay. Well, good luck to you fellas. Keep on trucking. You're doing well. Some people are probably trying to go for the Hail Mary place and blow a big chunk of their account. 124% to lower than 27%. 142, yeah. Wow. Okay, you must be really trying to hit the home runs. That was just in one day. February 8th now. Okay. Well, you know, ICT's put it out there. He said that people, he's going for the record. So people are going to try and hit the ball out of the park every single time just to try and stay way up there. But Michael still hasn't even put it. I think he's just took his first trade and he's still down there on the list, and he's not looking to overcommit too soon. But good. Those are the standings. Good luck to you all. All right. Yes, I saw that great stuff. Yeah, it's turned out pretty good so far. Now, where are we going now this week, you say? Daily, we're obviously making new highs for NASDAQ, so we have not much to predict on the upside. Again, let's review what we're looking at over here. On the daily. This is where we were kind of looking at with a daily chart. Our projection from 4, we're looking up to here. We're also looking for this price leg here to continue up to here. On the weekly perspective, we're looking for a weekly expansion limit of somewhere in here. But again, you can't predict the highs. These are just really low-end speculations on where we think these charts could go. This could turn around and just do a big crash down. But right now, we're still finding decent support off of old highs, off of midpoints for ranges. So we're still bullish on all this stuff. ES. Looks like we've got some lows here on the hourly to reach for. We have a little inversion. Sorry, I have fair value gap down here. You're going to see me say this a lot. Anybody who's new here, you'll hear me say these words, and then my brain has to go back and check them, fact check them, and then give you the proper words. So forgive me for my brain acting too quickly. So this 1 hour fair value gap, it's a 1 hour fair value gap because it is a BISI. Buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. Nothing's been returned to it yet. It was created here. So as we got this consolidation here, we've had all these upsides taken out. We get these little probes to the upside, then the rollover come down. So we're looking for downward run down and below these lows. And the draw on liquidity is obviously this fair value gap here and these lows. Now if it could be popped through here and then it's come back looking again for the new range created, and then we'll look for PDRAs inside there at the lower time frames. And you'll see this is a rinse and repeat process we use, or I use every day. And the other people that are on the channel make some lovely dovetailing of Michael's principles and the things that they're seeing. I love it. It's a good, well-oiled group in here. Great people. All those of you who are new to the channel, we're in about the whole purpose of the channel is to support each other. We're all in this for everybody's own edification. Nobody's here to peacock. Nobody's here to make anybody feel bad. No trolls. If you're trolling, you're gone. If I see any of that kind of stuff, people are gone. We're not into drama. We're just into trying to trade this thing as best we can and read the markets. Get really good at reading the markets. And then if you venture off onto your own and do your own thing, or you're here with us for the long term, you have that option. If you don't like what we're doing, just move on. That's okay. We're cool with that. Hopefully you can see some value in what we're showing here. If you can't, if it kind of runs against your grain, that's fine. Take it in for a moment. See if you find any values in it. Take a little point and move on. It's all for free. Nobody's selling anything here. Okay, so we have a run below this low. We just pop below it. So we'll see how this candle ends up in the next 15 minutes. I'm going to kind of blow through these real quick. We're in the discount range of this range here. We have a premium PD array up here. We have equal lows. And if you're looking at this longer range here, we have a discount array down here and here. So if you're looking at the whole range, you're sitting around 50% right now. Sitting around 50%. And you got a premium and discount arrays that are similar. Always look for like arrays above and below you, inside the range you're trying to trade. Now this could be your, hang on a second, I have to give myself a little, I had to do a quick throat clear. I don't want to be hacking in your ear all the time here. If you're looking at a specific range that you want to trade in, stick to that range and find your support on the higher time frame premise if you like. For example, we have a higher 4-hour array from here to here. We're in the discount. You take the range high, the range low. When you got wicks like this, %50 of that is back into this order block, taking out this high here right before the rejection block. Then all the rest of it is in the high part of that wick. So if we do get work today, kind of keep that in mind. I'll leave that there and just we'll see what happens over the next 4 hours now that we're in this discount portion of that little range that was created on the high between two down candles. So if we're not going to extend down even further to start extending this range, we've got that consolidation. Highs have been taken, lows have not. So I'm more inclined for the lows to get taken back into this order block here and then look for arrays, like arrays. So we have a breaker here running above this old high, and we have a breaker here hopefully running below this low. I guess there's a swing point here. It's still down candles. Anyway, that would be the two order blocks to look for. So I'm going to leave that there right now, because if this turns around and comes back up, these are the areas I'm looking for. Obviously inside that order block, these little highs here, and then rejection block, and then whatever happens inside that wick, and we'll line that up when it gets there. On down. Oops. Let's look at Dixie. I still think we've got this. That's a daily price imbalance right there. So we got it. Let me put that as a daily volume imbalance. So if this holds price here right now, and we start breaking back down, we'll look for a run back into these equal highs here. we'll see what today ends up, but I would like to see the return back into this imbalance here, equal highs, find some support off that and continue to push higher. I'll go, Cat. Good morning. British pound. Back inside the 4-hour array. The 4-hour inversion fair value gap here. Come back down, tag it. Come back up into the open. The New York Open midnight candle. Look at that right there. Tagged it. Came back to it perfectly. And now we're starting to work our way through it. So this is what I kind of wanted to see in the euro. I wanted to see the drive down, take out the lows of the 8 hours that were kind of going back and forth. We'd already taken the highs. And then we opened right here. Oh, that's, where did we open? 1820. So right here. Oh, that's the midnight. It's not New York midnight though. That's just the beginning of the new day. So I'm used to working MT4 on these Forex ones. Okay, so I was thinking that we've already taken those highs out. I'd like to see a run back to this inversion fair value gap before taking the highs, but it went straight for the highs in the British pound. But euro, when we were talking about euro this weekend, right here, we're looking at Sunday taking that low. So it took the low here, went straight for the highs. Now it's back down inside that inversion. Look at this Sunday. Yeah, that's where the Sunday candle opened. So it did take the lows out here that we're calling for, but didn't get right back into this inversion I was looking for here. But then Derek was calling for the highs. Is exactly where it went. So good man, Derek. And then proceeded to stretch the highs a little higher, all the way back up into this order block over here. Then we've had a recent pound down overnight. That was the night or the evening candle, London high. We've now taken these lows out. Look for this order block down here. It's open. Look for this 4-hour inversion, whether or not it supports price, or whether we blow through it and the body supports it, and then start looking for this open mean threshold and then the rejection block. If we do get a return here, if this ends up being the swing for the week or with the day, look for a run back up into the premium array, which is this whole fair value gap and breaker right here. God, look at that. Just for weeks, it's banging around inside that inversion, that fair value gap now on the daily. All right, we've come all the way back down to the breaker on the New Zealand dollar nicely. We've keyed off of that, and now we're back up inside this breaker. We're eating through it. See how we've eaten through the mean threshold? We're coming back to this inversion now, which is a daily inversion. Even though there's a wick as a reprice rebalance, so you treat that like a fair value gap. You found support right in the middle of it. You're off to work. Love you, honey. Have a great day. Rejection block. Now we're back up in here. So we haven't got a real break in market structure to the upside other than the first little hint that we have here. Let me just put this on here. The first hint we have is this right here, giving us a level of support. We have a body traded through it. We've come back, so find support off the order block, and we've blown through the midpoint of this candle right here. So now that we're starting to push through higher, look for a deeper dig into this daily fair value gap and reach for these old highs back here, and we'll see what kind of support we get on top of the daily this week for higher prices. Australian dollar, see the difference between the two? We'd run down into that breaker and found some support off of it, and we're starting to get some lift, and we're definitely breaking through the midpoint of the mean threshold of that up close order block breaker. We haven't even come close to that here yet. This guy hasn't even been worked yet. Difference again. Here, the breaker is being traded through handsomely, and we've come back inside it here. Also that inversion versus this. That inversion, we haven't even worked it yet. Sorry, that reprice rebalance and creates like a fair value gap here as well. When that starts to get worked through, we'll get the same kind of thing. So you can see who's the sixth sister of the two. This hasn't been worked yet at all. So, this swing point here, last down close candle before I run above it, look equal highs here, right there. We're inside that breaker, so it's just a delay from this guy here. We came back to it, left. Australian dollar's lagging behind there. Japanese yen, still reaching for those old highs up here. Look for this to be a new price leg. Right there. So that's upside objective 154. These equal highs are on the radar right now, and so is this inversion fair value gap here on the daily. So look for this continued support off of these order blocks. So if today ends up dipping down into this old high here, get some support, leave that open, continue pushing higher. This is what we talked about on crude oil. So this was the prediction. We're looking for a return to this BISI. Find some support off it. So I was looking for find some support off this BISI. Come back into the range. Find support off of an order block that I was, while I was drawing this, I couldn't predict exactly where the order block would be other than off this big guy here. And then I thought, now we'll run back into the 62%. So you take these things and kind of stretch them out. They're not obviously going to be on every single candle, get a perfectly smooth run like this, but you will see that we hit nicely off of here, and this is the objective. We're looking for this downside objective. So you watch. So we're at it right here. Don't worry about this leg here yet. So we're looking for that here. This is the drive that we're looking for right here. Drives all the way down into the fair value gap that we're looking for. So that first leg's been completed. Now this drive back up, which is what this leg is doing right now. Right back up into that order block right there. So we're right on the money on the tip of this one here. And this is the next one. So the next one we're expecting is a drive all the way back down. I'll kind of stretch these out a bit more now so you get an idea what it was, so you don't think I'm too full of crap or I'm trying to customize this. I'm not. And then you got to kind of go over here. So this is where I kind of have to stretch this out. If we look at where that's sitting right now, no, that's not where I had it. I had it sitting right. It's not going to really play too well in there now. That's the area we're talking about. So from here to here to here. So far oil's doing exactly what we're called for. That's the order block we're looking at. So we do cut through candles. Those of you who are retail thinkers, if you're joining us, I know I'm starting to advertise, but show some of my stuff here on the other channels, and might be attracting some retail thinkers in here. We do cut through candles. We don't use trend lines and Bollinger Bands and MACD convergences or Elliott waves or any of that stuff. I wouldn't even know how to help you there, and I really am about helping people, so I have no idea how that would help you at all. I can't help you there. So anyway, if this one pushes through the mean threshold of that candle right there, then this leg isn't in play. We're looking for a run above these highs again then. So we'll see how this candle holds. And it's already gone through 1, 2. Yeah, it's already reaching for the third already. We'll see how that works because we just opened up at 9:32 right now. All right, here's the gold prediction I gave on the weekend. So we're expecting this run down into this candle here, which is that run there. The delay was continuing. I was looking to get back into this inversion fair value gap right here. So as soon as we get back into that, I was looking for a run down. So we hit the edge of it here, ran down a little bit, just took out the lows. Then we did one more time, ran right up into it perfectly here, hit the inversion, and now we're getting this first leg has been completed. Now I want to see this pull back up into here or here. This, I modify this now, but we're getting a nice deep run down in here. So this leg here is finally being completed here, and then we have a little pullback up into probably this order block here, if not these equal lows here, and then a continuation on the downside for gold. So far that's working out as well quite nicely. Let's get back into oh crap, where did that happen? Alright, look at the range imbalances up here. We have this guy up here, right there. See that on the 15-minute? Now get right up into this little pocket here. You got that nicely. Now look for this guy here. Okay, we'll drive right through it. Good. So now we're through the mean threshold of that candle. Kirk, good morning. You must have slept in. Abs and Algo Cat beat you to it this morning. Alas. Good morning, sir. How are you? Tyree. Good to see you all again. I hope you had a good weekend. Hope everybody's had a safe weekend. You had something you can look back on and smile. You made somebody smile. You helped somebody out this weekend. You sent a little more love into the world. You got the good sell in gold today. Good for you, Algo. I'll run these highs here now. Rejection block. Let's let the market settle down a little bit here now. We've got a leg that's taking out some lows. Look at that, right back. Look at the 1 hour. 1 hour fair value gap. Look at that, right on the money. Come back, revisit. Are these areas of sensitivity? Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, I just wanted to go back and revisit that. Let's just go back for a moment and just revisit Friday's lunchtime objective that we're talking about. When I left you here on Friday, we were looking for the carrot to get hit inside that fair value gap. Then we're running for Derek's highs. Remember, we were looking for Derek's highs at 1809. So we had a nice little consolidation, and then bam, stabs the carrot, gets right into our fair value gap that we're calling for, right on the money. Look at that, right in the mean threshold. Sorry, consequent encroachment of that BISI. Laser, and then what did it do? It ran straight to Derek's objective, literally right up. So hit both of them right on the money, and then traded back down into a fair value gap. Body's respecting this fair value gap. Wicks do the damage, remember, and then off to the races it went. So we had the next price leg up, but precision, right? Premium discount, look for the arrays that support a nice little discount run. Yeah, I love that. Let's take the carrot and go over here and start tempting. Those of you who are new to our channel, you'll realize that the algo is a vegetarian. We've decided that. It's not a meat eater yet. It's a vegetarian. We're going to move the carrot over here, and I'll tell you where we're going to. So while that's just rolling around doing its thing, we're not looking to put any trades on right now. Let's just carry that forward. I just want to kind of analyze where that went. Okay, dipped into here. So array, we'll reach for that higher time frame objectives, which were these old highs back here. Pull your fib tool from the high to the low, 50%. That's all it needs to do, is just dip into a 50% to get the discount. The algo hits 50% and keeps leaving. That's more of a positive upside. Doesn't really dig down into 62%, which would have been nice. You would have seen that gone, oh, 62%. There's old highs right here. But if it just hits that 50% and leaves, like Michael was saying in one of his videos, if it hits the 50 or doesn't even come back to it and just touches around the 30% or whatever, he didn't give a percentage, but just said If it just bounces off that 50 and heads back up, then it's a stronger indication for higher prices. And as soon as you see this little run, here's a good example. Here's the little swing point from high to low. Doesn't even get back to 50%. 50% would have put you right inside that little imbalance there. So, and inside this breaker. So you would have been like, oh, I'm going to go along there. You wouldn't have got it. It took off on you. Look for order blocks to find some support at them. It came back inside, nicely inside the body of this candle here, inside the fair value gap. Continue to push for higher prices. Consolidation, take out the highs, back into the order block, run the lows out here. Order block, run above, come back in, find support off the order block. Breaking an old high, come back in, find support off the order block. Inversion, fair value gaps, all these things are inversions. Premium discount, coming back deep into this. Again, this is all hindsight shit we're doing right here. You'll see how we use this. Those of you who are new, you'll see how this stuff works. It's easy for me to kind of sit here and go, yeah, it's easy for you to point back in hindsight. If you do not study hindsight stuff, somebody feeds you a crock of sugar on hindsight, it's all BS. You got to practice it, man. Hindsight. I'm not going to tell you what you should do. I find hindsight absolutely amazing. It's super accurate. That we know. But if you can justify it, if they follow a logical pattern, you go, yeah, that makes sense. It came back to an order block. Okay. And it's following how you read price action, then it's great. So little small swing point, breaking structure, order block, return to order block, mean threshold. Another breaking structure below, come back up, order block, find some support, down you go. Now we break in structure again, a bigger break-in structure on the downside. Look for this is the breaker, right? So we run all the way down, come all the way back up inside the breaker here, all the way up to there. Wicks do the damage, little mohawks. Bodies are respecting that candle. So breaker. That's the breaker. Trade up inside the breaker and roll over. Totally makes sense, right? Look at the range. That's 50% of that range easily. And then you can take it from 3 different perspectives. I'll show you all 3 of them. Okay, if you take it from the high to the low, it's 50%. If you take it from the next one down, right there, it's 62%. Take it from the next one down, and I'm looking at the swing points because you use those to anchor off of. 62%. Take this one here. 70%. Perfect hit on the retracement there. Either one of those, any one of those ranges that you decide to anchor off of would have been 50 to 62% retracement. You take that for the short. And I like to go to the first one, then I usually like to use the second one up, so on and so forth. Run the lows, come back into this little range we've created here. Ontological premium array. Well, there's not many of them left down here on the discount side, especially when you work the crap out of it like this. Oh, we would have taken out the low. See, I was thinking if we had, that would have taken me a little sideways here. No. Sorry, I'm looking at his. If I was analyzing that from there to there, that swing high to that swing high, and I'd look for 50%. I'd say I'd look for higher than 50%, and what's above there that's in a premium array I can get some key off of to get either striking lower if this thing's driving lower, whatever your bias is. And there's 50%, 62% right there. 50% here, 62% brings you right inside that inversion, or sorry, that SIBI, fair value gap SIBI, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. Come back up, find some support at it. Starts to drive back down. I'd be looking for this order block here. If it takes it out, then great. Then you have a whole new range to run from that low there to that high there. And then where do we get up into? 79%. Premium array. Look for that. It's been, all this has been worked. So you think this whole discount array has been worked in that small range that we've just created here. That higher range has not been hit. So if your objective is to start aiming for anywhere inside the mean threshold or the consequent encroachment of that SIBI, I'm going to put you right on the money there. Anyway, let's get back over here. We're getting close to the next hour. You'll see, those of you who are new, you'll see how we use this on a minute-by-minute basis, using exactly what we just did there. Hindsight is just conversation that we have while it's happening. So if you can look at those little predictions and say, great, now what am I aiming for here on the next? Oh, I should just do this. People are going, you're killing me, Darren. Just move the damn carrot like this. All right, and then move here. I'm still working on this stuff. Okay. So let's bring us up to speed here. We've had the opening. %. We have a nice discount array right here. So if we've got this, if we were sitting here and we saw this turn while I was blathering back here, and you start to see this return, you go, ooh, look at this. Now what in this range here supports a discount premium kind of run? Well, 50% would have put you here. You would have been said, well, I'd be happy for a fill. I'll take that on a 50% fill. But there's also this little pocket down here and this breaker down here. If we can find support off the breaker, then shit, that's a good little long right there. So, or you just say 62%, I'm happy with a 62% retracement, and that puts us right into the top of the BISI here, and I can go for a long. So if that's your entry right here off of the breaker and its precision off the breaker, then you'd be in here, and then you say, all right, as this candle starts to close, if we're pulling back into this order block here, you pull your fib tool from here, here to here, and say, what premium array can I reach for? Well, I gotta reach for at least 50% of this new range that's starting up here. Well, there's 50% there, and this range won't be discovered until the end of that candle's close. So if you get in long here and it starts to retrace on you, say, okay, what's my objective? As soon as it hits the top of that, I'm going to go to a 62%. 70 would be the mean threshold. So 62% will put you right here inside that order block. Retrace to the order block. We're into it. Now we're running back down. Look for some support down in here now. So if we got a mean threshold, if that holds price, then we have another run back into this range here. So we'll look for this candle here. We also have that hourly inversion as well. We have a little imbalance sitting right here. Yes, we cut through candles. So I've got 1, 2, 3 arrays kind of overlapping here to see if they provide a level of support. If we blow through the midpoint of this, we're aiming for a deeper discount, which we'll look for on the higher time frame. So old lows, imbalance right there. See the imbalance perfectly hit again. There's your mean threshold. I like the way the little bounces off of that. Nice. See, now you got this order block here, this body here, this inversion here. Now we're on the body. Sorry, the inversion is now, I'm looking at this. I've got to stay current with what's happening in price. So here's where we've flipped over into a this is the thing when we find some support on this. We want to see this mean threshold give way now. This becomes our inversion. So if this now starts to run through here and find support at the top of it, great, I'm all right with that. But if it now finds support off the bottom of it, like you just saw that wick hit it, we want to see this mean threshold give way now and start running for the rejection block. I got another account of the weekend which I need to pass, so I have two now. Yeah. So mean threshold holding. I like this. As long as that one closes now above that, I'm excited for that. We're through the mean threshold of that one. Let's see where it closes. It's below. Look at that. Wick did the damage. So again, we got to wait to see what this inversion does. And we're still 9 minutes away from the open, so where do we put the carrot? Where do we put the carrot, you say? We've got lots of wicks here. I'm going to stick the carrot off to the side for a moment. This order block mean threshold still holding. We were calling that a few minutes before it hit it, so we wanted to see it hit here, hold it. If we end up if it gives way, we get back into that hourly fair value gap here. We're finding some support off of that. Want a body get through here. This inversion, now we want that inversion to hold and reach for higher prices. So order block here. I guess it's the breaker now. No, not really. Did not break that low. This one did. Range. Look at the range we're in now. Look for premium discounts and ranges. If you're going to call this on the 1 minute, you got to draw a lot of little fibby tools. There's your 50%. Tell me these aren't data points that find sensitivity. I love the way it just taps it and pops off. Like, come on. It's not a randomness. It's not randomness. If it drives back through it, I've got no problem, but it ain't random, man. It's coming back to, on a 1 second chart, it's found its peak. Now it's running back into a discount array on the 1 second chart. It's hitting its other little arrays in here, so if it drives through this, I'm all right with that. But I love the area of sensitivity there. Now if it pulled from here to here, you'll see it, a different array. Not quite 70%. But it's a premium, so reprice, rebalance, so we're expecting it to come back into here, maybe even back into this inversion. We do have one little guy right there. Watch for a level of sensitivity here. And push for higher arrays if we're not looking for a deeper run, because we hit 50% here. So if it wants to pop into the discount or a premium array, that's one here I'm looking at. So I want to see that one hold price. And then you're between this guy here and way down here, this inversion here. So let's watch, see if this one holds price. Mean threshold. So he's just banging on it. Trying to drill through it. It provides a level of support, you see. Now you want to see it start lifting up higher. Keep pushing. Now you have this guy here. What? How did you know it was going to do that? Why did you call that? Those of you who are new, this is not randomness, people. It's not randomness. So you want to see this? I want to see this candle now. See how we've broken the high of it? You want to see how the open hit it? You want to see that hold now. Otherwise, we're going to dig back into the wick on here. And I don't want to see us revisit unless we come back into here. Let's look at that as a potential comeback to price. But yeah, here we are, digging into that candle there. We're through it. Yahoo! Now we start looking for higher price. Minute by minute, folks. Minute by minute. Rejection. Minute by minute by minute. Who sang that song? Minute by minute. Was it the Commodores? Or Hall & Oates, maybe? I can't remember. This song is just going through my head right now. Trying to look for like arrays now, here and here. We've come back to this array, and a premium array is this guy here. So if we're coming to the mean threshold of this, look for the mean threshold of that right there. And then we'll see if we come back into this range and start creating this new fair value gap here now. Sorry, fair value gap. See, I told you, my mouth just says something, my brain has to catch up afterwards, come back, creating a new consolidation, the next part of the consolidation. Look for this candle here. We have a little fair value gap sitting here. The Doobie Brothers, that's right, the Doobie Brothers. Minute by minute. These young pups wouldn't even know who the Doobie Brothers are. Abs, we're dating ourselves. Nice little return to this imbalance here. Price imbalance, running for higher prices. There's the mean threshold. Look at that, right on the money. Like array to like array. See that? Discount, premium. Discount, premium. Was that not a sexy return or what? Just look at that and you go, oh, that's a nice interesting array. Now where would be a nice place for that to head for as the overall objective? If that's a like array, the next one above it inside that big range there is that guy there. Look at that. Hello. And we call for that somewhere in here. We're looking for that point. We end up talking about like arrays. Randomness. It's all randomness, all chaos. Don't let anyone tell you difference. This is all guessing. Complete guessing. There's no logic, no rhyme, no reason. Damn it. Are you kidding me? This is not an order block yet. Why is it not an order block? Why is it not an order block yet? Why does it not mean anything to us yet? Now, ask yourself, why did it hit with precision in here and off the mean threshold of that candle? How? And then we're calling all the banging around inside here off of these levels. How can that be randomness? On a 1 minute chart, we're calling specific levels we want to find support on, aiming for an objective, like objectives. When you're looking at your PD arrays, look for, once it hits a nice little discount objective, and then you get this swing point occur. So on the close of that candle, you start going, oh, there's a swing point. What's a like objective in this range above me that I could reach for? Same like array. Mean threshold, mean threshold. And you got like right on the money there. And yes, we cut through candles. Retail, if you're retail in here, you're looking at this, you'll skip over it and say it's crap. Because there was no Bollinger Band, there was nothing that we looked at. There was no indicator we used for that whatsoever. We just look at each individual candle, looking at price. I don't want to turn into one of those rager guys that just go, can you not see this? I just want to call it and you guys can see it. We'll look for specific rates. And then when it doesn't do that, then we want to see it break out of that. We want to see it change. And then we want to get really good at seeing the change in direction. Because all that higher time frame stuff will be supported on, if you're going long, we're looking for the support that says, okay, we're going long now. Now, when I said we got to this point, we said we move back into a consolidation, right? Well, here you go. We're back into that area, that consolidation again. We've hit a like array. We've come back down. We've created an equal low here. This candle, did anybody answer that question as to why it wasn't an order block yet? Doma Sherpa. Can you tell me the next move of the euro, up or down? You tell me where you think it's going to go, and I'll tell you whether or not, and I'll show you how you can support that. Doma, you tell me where you think it's going to go, and I'll tell you whether or not your order, how to support that theory. Me just telling you is just like feeding it. So give me your theory, and I'll show you whether or not it's supported, how you would support that, and how you wouldn't support that idea. When you have to look for reasons that support your idea for a trade, and when you also have to have rules of when this violates this rule, I'm out. Whether you're taking a loss or not, you have to commit inside your head to get out. Rules that must be supported. And believe me, you'll see me screw up my own rules over and over again and pay the price. And you'll see, last week I had a lot of losses because I was trying new stuff out. It's all in demo. So I'm not losing any money in my live accounts. My live accounts are my stuff, but what I do on here, I'll say, don't copy me. You're not here to copy me. I'm here to just kind of show you how I read price action. So, Doma, you tell me what you think's happening on Euro. We'll move over there right now because we've got triple lows happening here. Premium discounts, arrays. We're still inside this guy here. See how the bodies are bouncing off of it. Now we're starting to dig into it. So look for this to provide support or come back in here and start digging for lower prices. Then that mean threshold is going to see if it holds price again. If it doesn't, we're looking to extend the array past this range. So we have the rejection block yet to hit here and here. So let me go over to Euro and help Doma out here. He's going to give me his idea where he thinks it's going to go, and I'll tell you. Did you take any trades today? I don't know if anybody's taken trades today. I think you took one. I didn't take anything yet. I'm going to do long there. I got previous daily low liquidity and got shift on the 15-minute. You're going to go long. All right, so what you need to stay long in, and you've got the daily, you said. You broke below the lows. I like that. You still have this little fair value gap below you here. You have a return to a daily order block here. You're inside that wick. So take 50% of that wick. If you go through 50%, you close through 50% of that wick, upside. You hit just over 50% and you pull back into the range. Now, if this candle, and which has, this candle has now been validated on the daily, yes. You've now validated this on the daily. So you took that yesterday's high out or Friday's high out, and now you've dropped below that candle there. That validates this as an order block now. So you've got this open mean threshold above you that we could get a retracement back into. You have an inversion fair value gap on the daily right here. Let's give you this daily inversion. So you're right now, you are bouncing around inside this thing. You've actually closed above it. You're digging down into it. So I can give you several different theories about where this is going to go here now. So now you've bounced off the bottom of it. If you get a continuous retracement now, and this all becomes wick, and you close today, that's why you don't make any big trades on a Monday. Let it tip its hat for you. Let you know where you think it's going to go. You don't always have to catch the long bomb, but if you're so inclined, then that would be your limit. You don't want to see this body close through this low right here on the daily. We have an inversion fair value gap here now. We've traded all the way through it, and we actually closed on Friday above that inversion. And then we opened. Now we've come back into the range, which we could do all the way back to the bottom of the range, but now you're in a squeeze play here. Some people may have taken that as an opening to go higher. Now we've dug really deep into that daily fair value gap inversion here, this old SIBI, and now you want to see this lift, start getting some lift in here. Right now this is indecisive for me, because if this turns around and runs back down, you got these relative equal lows here and the rest of this fair value gap to fill in, and we're in a downward trend, which is pretty obviously a downward trend right now. you've taken 50% of that wick. So I'm going to argue both sides of your thing here. And when you can argue a valid reason on both sides, you kind of just, you have to sit on the sidelines, right? This mitigation block right here, well, actually, no, it's a breaker. There is a swing point here. So you take that out. Your bodies are inside this candle here. More support for downside run. Let's go to your hourly here. So hourly, you do have relative equal lows here. You've come back into order block here. Right, price rebalance right inside there. Order block, back in, find support. Run the highs. Come back in here. Aha. Consolidation. Breakthrough consolidation. Back up to the backside of consolidation. Looking for a run below the lows. Now we're looking for a run into here. So this order block has found some support. So my friend, I don't see much support for your upside run just yet. Even though we're in a premium and discount, you're in a discount side of this. This order block right here is holding price. See how we've ran below it right here? Then we come back up inside it. The mean threshold is where you want to find support off of that. And it's finding support. Right now, this candle, hourly candle, is rolling over and coming back down. So you want to look for, you see if this candle continues to hold price. This mean threshold here, if we eat through that on a close, then you're looking for more downside run. Look for this candle down here. And now it looks like we're getting through this inversion here. If we come to the other side of that inversion, we'll get more support off of it, then you're going down. So be careful about this. You want to see this candle already eaten through your mean threshold here already. So if it has eaten already through that, we're already into the rejection block. You want to see this wick up real quick now. I'm losing hope for your long here, just off of that that candle here. I've got more belief that you're going short into this candle here. I don't know what your long objective is in terms of your time frame. Which time frame are you trading on there? Well, it's taken these highs. See how it's run up the highs. It came back to try. All these people who are trying to trail their stop loss, take them out. Then it doesn't really do anything until we start to break in market structure here. So we have a break. These are all wick runs. We finally have a body break above it, but then we slam back below, break in structure to the downside. We come back up right inside it right here. See that? Big impulse leg down. We trade back up into the old low. We react off that. We need this mean threshold to hold price. It doesn't. It eats all the way through it, Then you start to say, okay, now the lows, I'm looking for the lows. If we have a body trade below the lows, we're definitely going for this candle here. And so for me, I'd be looking at this candle right here as support. It did. Gave you multiple 3 pokes into it. Could not get above it. Finally gave up the ghost and started heading back down here. So my guess is we're going to run the low and look for this candle here. So sorry, I don't have much faith for an upside run. But again, like I said, wait for this candle to finish closing. If it closes below that threshold, then wait for a retracement back into it and cut your losses. That would be my guess anyway. I'm not giving you financial advice. We don't give financial advice here at all. But if on my demo game here, if I was playing my demo game would be and I was long at this point, I would wait for a retracement back into this, get out, wait for a better setup. That's all I got for you there, my friend. So we came back in, order block, rejection block again, back up into mean threshold, back down to order block, close, fair value gap again. This one's really getting chewed up now, so I like to start moving these along when they've been eaten through multiple times like this. Yeah, they can still provide a level of support, as you can see on that candle right there. So we're back to that order block there. Premium discount. Order blocks validated, come back, find support added inside the inversion. Now look for a discount array inside this fair value gap. There's just the whole fair value gap is up for grabs, because if you're between this candle and this candle, you're looking for a run into it. You ran into it, then you ran back up into that guy one more time, tag him. Now it's running out of PD arrays, right? It's like, shit, we filled this guy, we've hit this guy, and we've hit that guy. We came back up one more time to tag that guy, and now we're extending the range. You see that? Beautiful. Nice little price delivery. Mr. Tesla, I haven't seen you for a while. How are you doing? I haven't seen you for quite a while now. Good morning, good morning. Here I was thinking it was something in our relationship, something I said that made you leave us. Mean threshold. See how we hit the mean threshold there? We've already hit the mean threshold once. Now you can start wicking through it, take these lows out, come back up into fair value gap inversion. Nice little support. See that? Body trades below it, comes back up, finds support. Now we want to start digging into this hourly one here. Look for a rejection here. Then you split your wick up into your quarters and start doing all that stuff as well, which I'm not going to do. I'm just going to wait for it to take that and see what we do inside this 1 hour. I think that's a 1 hour that we're looking at there. Yeah, look at that. TK, how's it going, my friend? Do you have a good weekend? Hope you guys are having a good weekend. You're watching your stream, my stream from work. Oh, TK, don't let the boss catch you. Or give me the signal and I'll try to impress your boss so much that he says, hey, TK, take as much time as you need. Here's 50 bucks. Trade it for me. Swing point, see that? Pull your fib from here or here, whatever one you want. Look for your premium and discount arrays and start asking yourself, what array up here supports a run higher or lower? What one becomes a breaker? Which one's an important candle that I might find some support off of that I think I could roll over and come back down some more? That big sucker right there. Now look at your range. I'm going to make a video on this about these ranges that you constantly have to keep pulling your fib tool to get an idea of where we are inside a small little tiny range, inside a bigger range. We've run all those PD arrays and we're at the discount of a bigger range, but this smaller little range here, you start to say, what could I just reach for in a premium? What up here is in a premium array that I could reach for once this candle here gets validated, and it got validated right there. So we want to see this one provide support now. And what's a PD array above us? Well, 50% puts us back into that 1 minute inversion again. A premium, this guy here, there's another inversion right here now, because we came all the way back through it. Now it becomes inversion right there. So let me move this guy here so you guys get an idea what it is I'm looking at. Let me get this guy out of the way here first. It's going to get too crowded in here. So you're looking for that small little range, that inversion to now provide support, or if we want to get a premium inside this small little range, what inside here, tell me on your charts, what inside here provides a level of support that price could actually reach for one more time maybe. What levels do you see here that line up nicely with those arrays? Quickly, tell me before it ventures off. What premium array supports? Quickly, quickly, quickly. Anyone? I want to tell you. Look here, imbalance, 70%. Look there, 75% order block, which is it's a consequent, which is a mitigation block. Last upper candle, this little low did not take anything out here. So inside this order block, that is above 50%. That could be a fine return. We're looking at also the mean threshold or consequent encroachment of that busy. Can roll over there because now we're in a premium level. We can roll over and keep coming back down. So you want something that's really solid, right? If you can argue both sides, then you've got to stay out of the trade. But we're just analyzing minute by minute candles here, right? There's your order block. So I want to see it push through one more time, get back up into this imbalance here or right here, 75%. But that I'm looking at that candle there can hold, and that's also that consequent encroachment of that inversion that we're in now can hold. Okay, good. So it's eating through that. Look for upper, this guy here and that guy there. Ah, my brother Derek. Welcome, welcome, my friend. Derek's got his eggs on the counter ready to go. We got 19 people in today, Derek. You're going to be scrambling up some eggs, my friend. Tesla's in this morning, trade for 20 to 30 minutes. Then, oh yeah, it's good. It's smart if you can just trade for 20 to 30 minutes and get out. There's a 62% retracement. Nice. Come back to the order block. Watch this guy here. We want to see this guy. You got the high, the open. We already got above it, so that's been worked. Mean threshold's pretty much your last line in the sand here. If this guy holds, great. If not, this could be the slow, insidious drop down. Our little trend line friends are just drawing trend lines like crazy through this now. Now remember, we can blast all the way through that. We still have rejection block up here. All we've got left really in here is rejection on either end. Yeah, 10:30. I was just looking at this going, oh, I didn't even look for the old silver bullet this morning. 10, there's 9, 12, right there you would have gone for a long if that would have been your silver bullet. That's why I don't like silver bullets in consolidations, my friends. there. You get a silver bullet that's right off of a confirmation for a long, like this was 10 o'clock, and you saw this return back into it. I'd say silver bullet the hell out of that thing. If you're going, your bias was long for the day, I'd be like, snatch that little puppy up right at 10:01, something like that. You took out a low, go for it, and aim for that first rejection block and next high. But when you're bashing around in these consolidations like this, and you try to get into the 10 o'clock, and you look at this from there to there, and you go, what have I got? Well, if I come back and this candle holds, that's great. But if it doesn't hold, it's going to take my stop loss right away. So no, I wouldn't touch it. Or if you are, suggestion, just a suggestion, take it right as close to your stop loss as you can. Very low leverage, and wait for it to break out above the highs. And then if you get a breakout with a fair value gap, you can load a bit more on there and pyramid it up. But taking that low, again, back to the rejection, or sorry, back to the mean threshold of that candle. See how it's holding? The bodies are respecting that mean threshold. Order block. Body. We're through this guy now. Good. So look for same kind of setup here. Bodies respecting this. We might get a wick up in here. If the bodies close below, above this candle here, we're just into rejection now. See that? Right off that tiny, I didn't see that one till I was like, what did that hit? Oh yeah, a little tiny imbalance right in here. Right on the money. So, old high. If you want to see this kind of stay open now, start pushing through this. Use this as a propulsion candle. Let me get rid of this thing here. Now, what would be really nice is if we see oh, this is probably a swing point here, though. Turn around and come back down into our range again. We want to see this give us a good lift off of here. We'll see if this 27 candle ends up being a swing point. That would have to pop up above here. Next couple of minutes, we should see a swing point. I don't think we're done in this consolidation yet. What your bias is today, guys? What are you guys thinking for your long-term bias? I'm just stuck in the mud here on the 1 minute. You can see why Michael's not trading this either. No use getting mired down in all this mud and stuff. Wait till we see. We're still calling it. As you can see, you can still call the charts on the 1 minute, but it is sloppy. That is a high resistance. I don't want to be calling consolidations all the time. They really hurt my brain. Because you really got to focus on each candle and the candles behind it. Then you cut through candles looking for specific arrays. It can be quite mind-numbing, especially if you're not trading it. Just practice calling it, right? You're calling it long, are you? Yeah, overall, I agree with you, Abs. I like a long, but until we get something that really gives us a lift right now, I agree with you. Be careful. So we're really between. See how this little price leg's already finished already? That one's done. Back into the range again. Remember, we're looking for that swing to occur. There's your swing. This is where the next one, we could get a start getting a lift up here now. This could be the start to the support right here. Right off that candle there. I like that. Nice good pullback. Beautiful. Come back, tag it, and go. This could be a nice little lift from here, folks. That could be the swing you're looking for a continuation on the upside. Let's see what happens when Crazy Ivan comes into the equation here. Yes, right now. Yes. Ooh. Oh, look at that. Right off the session open. Look at that. Right at the midnight open candle. Hit it. Quit it. Okay, so we have order block, validation, come back, find support at it, come back down inside the body. 1 PD ray, 2 PD ray, 3. So look at that. Hit it. Come back. Hit the second one. Get some support off of it, leave it. We have a regular trading hours gap, bang, bang, bang off of it, come back, fill it perfectly. Order block, pop above it, come back, find support on it, the body is respecting that. We lift off, back to an old high here. We break through the old high, come back, tag it multiple times, and then leave. Beautiful, order block, validate it, come above, come back down, inside the order block. Long. Go above these old highs. I love it. It's working nicely. Good call, Derek. Equal highs here now. All that's equal highs. They're not going to leave that unchecked. What would be really nice and strong is if we had created fair value gap here now, like that, and just come back and hit this sucker. And then go long from there. I'm going to put the paper one on there. There's the high. You like to, if it just left that open, that'd be awesome. This is a reprice rebalance, so maybe we can get back to the bodies, fulfill, and then go. Take off now. Go to the moon, Alice. There's this Crazy Ivan. Right into there. Perfect. Now run. Run away, little fly, run away. Fly, 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 agents, darling. Fly, fly, fly. See how my mind just rips over? Good call, Derek. That was a nice little return to here. If it comes in here one more time, I'll actually try and get long on that. Actually, we'll put a long in there, right? This was a reprice rebalance, so you could actually get into that. Want to be below the consolidation, 50%. I don't want to lose this order block here now. Now we're into the bodies. See where that closes. That closed on the bodies, nice. Order block, hit that. So this top of this consolidation, 50% of that consolidation is right about here somewhere. So I don't want to lose that order block, so my stop loss is here. Show it the carrot. Show it the carrot. Put the carrot here. Where's the carrot? Oh, there's the carrot. Coming up here. Show it the carrot. Man, the spread in Forex or in the MT5 for that, for this is insane. I'd like to get long on that in my other account, but the spreads are stupid. I'm not paying that. That's just ridiculous. Here's the carrot. Come put a carrot. This is going to be one of those superstitions we're going to develop. You know that, right? Show it the carrot. Show it the carrot. That's where I start getting skittish. If it bops around in here too long, I start getting skittish. I want to see it leave with some intensity. As we're in this high resistance kind of bashing around back and forth, we may continue doing that stuff. I want to see this thing as now being the impulse candle that we find some support off of. Get some drive inside this consolidation. We broke above it with an impulse candle and a fair value gap. Love to see those. Trade the fair value gap and that impulse off the fair value of this consolidation high. Now I want to see this really take off here. Low, low, low. Leverage, obviously. And what are we aiming for? We're aiming for old high. We're aiming for the carrot. There you go. And we can sell out. I'm going to sell out right there at the carrot. I am going to sell one limit there. That's a carrot. I've only got one anyway, so if I want to take it out of that high, Nasdaq just broke its recent high. Nasdaq just cleaned out these highs. This is good. Remember, we were talking about this being further upside now. There we go. There we go. We called it right there, guys and gal or gals, if there's any gals in here. Look at that order block, validate, swing point, right when we're calling for a swing point. Crazy Ivan, away you go. 29, 30, all the way up to 36, 34. Sorry, that's the crazy Ivan there. Into the 36 candle. Back to breaker. Find support off the breaker. Bodies, nice. Order block, break that high, come back, find support at it, continue higher. So, yeah, it's still going higher. I like it. I like the fact that we're catching it early, and that's where we go, wait a second, now we've got something delicious happening here. And the moment we saw this break this mean threshold here, and then we got a time and price that have give us a retracement back into a discount of that range, we anticipated that would be a nice place for it to do an extension, and that's what it did. So I like that. Old highs here now. There's lots of little imbalances inside this little potential range that we can come back into. And so far our ES is not quite as vegetarian as our Nasdaq is. We have another order block forming. And if you see a swing point happening here, which should be in the next few minutes, we should see a swing point, then look for that swing. Again, pull your fib tool in there and say what's in a nice discount that you expect. What PDRAs are back here. Oh, let's move our carrot. See that? So you put the carrot there. Smell it. He smells the carrot. Smell the carrot. That's not an objective. That's just the bias that we've got right now. So we validated this order block here. We opened right up on top of the high, continue to push higher. This candle might make the high. If that doesn't make the high, before we retrace back in, then if this pulls up our ES, is our ES moving yet? Oh, look at that. Oh, we got our objective. Did anybody else take that trade? I only had one on there anyway, so. A perfect little trade though. What a nice little impulse leg. That's exactly what we look for. I love that. Thanks for pointing that out for us, Derek. Impulse leg right above that fair value gap. Fair value gap above, impulse leg above an old high consolidation. Equal highs, hello. Come back, fill your fair value gap. Would have been nice to see it stay open, but this impulse or this inversion fair value gap here, it stayed open. Sorry, inversion. This reprice rebalance stayed open. Oh no, it didn't. It came back, filled that as well. Back to the impulse candle anyway. Left. Inside the breaker. Mitigation. Oh, it's more of a mitigation candle, isn't it? No swing. Yeah, mitigation. Lovely. How many else got a trade there? Anybody else take a trade at that point? No, took the NQ. Got in at 030. You were down here? What the heck? 030. You're over here somewhere? Where the heck were that? What do you mean 030? Like you've been in for a while. In for a while there, Abs? You've been in way down here? Like yesterday you were here? 030? Oh no, he took the NQ. Sorry. I'm thinking, wow, Abs, have you been sitting in here, man? You've been there for days. Good for you. Zero 30. You took this one. Oh, good for you, buddy. Yes, good for you. did you anticipate that swing long on NASDAQ to the push up, the swing low in the fair value gap around 1030? Oh, I'm also going to put the carrot there. You're all going to have your own little carrot sitting above you now. It's going to create a superstition. Everybody's going to think the algo is vegetarian. It loves the carrot. Sorry, let me get back to Tyree's question here. At 10:30, it's time and price. This is the thing I was telling you about earlier about I have a specific time that I expect candles to do a little, make a swing point or make a turn. Bottom of the hour, there tends to be a swing point. Then there's a little, what we call the crazy Ivan, affectionately. It's just this little turn back that looks back in the within 6 minutes. It likes to do this little look back over its shoulder before continuing in a different direction or in the same direction. So if here we saw this order block, we traded back into the mean threshold of it. Order block here, it's a breaker, right? It's a breaker. When we started trading into it here, you think, okay, great. Now we want to see it trade back into this range and stay here. There's a fair value gap here, and all of a sudden it went boom. It traded through the mean threshold of that candle right there. That's where it tipped its hat and said, I'm going long. Quickly came back inside on the turn for bottom of the hour. Creates the low inside a fair value gap, inside the range. If you pull that from there to there, you'll see that's 50% or more. Inside the mean threshold or consequent encroachment of that inversion fair value gap there. One more time, found support off of it. Then you had one more opportunity to see it here and then run. So that's what we were calling. That's why I was saying I think this is the time for it to go long. Right at the right time, price, and it validated that mean threshold right there with a body. And then it went through here, went back up to there, tapped it, and we were calling it as it was coming in here. That would be the time for it to go low or long. And abs grabbed it right there at 030. Good man. Woohoo! There you go. There's the carrot up there now, abs. I have no idea where we're heading for right now. I can't even give you a projection. Maybe the first one that takes out the... Hopefully that helps you, Tyree. Oh, it's right where the carrot is right there. And what time is it? We're expecting a turn in the next few minutes. But here it can be doing some bumping around here. Oh, it loves that carrot. Loves the carrot. Did that help, Tyree? Why didn't I trade it though? Yeah, don't worry about whether I traded on here or not. I'm just going to call it. You guys trade whatever you want to trade. What I do on my little live account on the sidelines here, that's my business. I'm just going to let you, I'm just going to call what I call here. And if you guys take your trades, you go right ahead. If I take it on here, great. If I don't, it's not a big deal. I took a trade over here on the euro. I took that trade that returned to the consolidation on here. I took that one to the line. So And we were in a consolidation here, so I wasn't super excited about it. I don't like taking trades inside consolidations, but just because I was calling it and now it's done this magnificent little run up makes me look like a wizard. I still obviously didn't have enough confidence to jump in on that myself, but Abs did. He grabbed it. But you'll hear me giving you a lot of these where I think things are going. Doesn't mean to say I'm going to take the trade. Whether or not you guys take them is entirely up to you. It's your money. It's your demo account. I love just calling it. If I see something that looks delicious, I'll jump on it. Like that trade we had on this one here, fair value gap above. That's a setup and a half right there. That's a delicious little setup. And you've heard me in the previous sessions talk about, I want to see a bold candle get above there. Ideally, I'd like to see a fair value gap form above this high. Well, there you go. That's the one I look for. And then that's the delicious little entry there. So you can get it on 1, 2, 3, and then you're looking at your mitigation, or you would hope to see that this is a breaker as well. If it runs below an old low, it didn't take any low. This was just no swing point here, unless you can't call its own candle the swing point, but it didn't take that low out, so it makes it mitigation, and mitigated off of there and kept going long. But that's the setup I like to see, typically above a consolidation. Yes, it did help. Let's turn it into a meat eater. Do we have steak? Is there a steak in the old? Someone look in the icons there and tell me if you find a steak. We'll call this the T-Rex algorithm or something. Yes, it did help. I'll be looking for 10:30 every day. Look for not just 10:30, my friend. Look for every bottom of the hour, every hour. That is available to you every single hour, not just 10:30. Not just 10:30. You'll see it. You stick around here for another hour or so, you'll see. I am working on holding it to target. It is still my weak point. Yeah. I was just looking for that. That's fine. You want to keep holding it longer, then there's nothing wrong with trying to hold it longer. Manage it from the backside, Kirk. But it's the same kind of thing we talked about before. If you can't manage it from the front end and you want to manage it from the back end, what's a logical place you're willing? Again, your trade setup rule would be if it violates this specific level. For example, and I'm not saying this is, but if that was my objective and I said, okay, if it hits that objective, I will scale out half my position or a quarter of my position or whatever your theory is. Has a new order block forming, great. When we get above that candle right there, I want to see that provide a level of support now. This is going to be my line of support. So my stop loss, which was sitting down in here, maybe trailed up to here or right up to the bottom of that candle. And I go, if I lose this mean threshold and the worse the rejection block, yes, I see equal lows there. But that means if I lose this threshold, then chances are I'm going to keep coming back down further. So this thing has to be a propulsion candle for me to be one of those step ups. And if it breaks it, then I'm out. If it pops it and then runs through it, I'm going to say that's fine. My rule was that is my propulsion candle. That is my ladder. That's my step, my foothold in the mountain. And if I lose my foothold and fall, I want to be out right there. I want to catch myself. I'm going to put my little piton in there, my stop loss, and I'm going to watch that one, because if it violates it, I'm out. So there it forms. Move your stop loss to here. This one comes all the way back, and you go, oh, you start to get a little nervous, and then all of a sudden it leaves. And you see this guy here now, and this little swing forming right here. Look at time and price again. We're looking at a 00 and a 2. So we're expecting a swing point to happen. So I'd be watching here. My stop loss, I would move my stop loss. If you were managing this and you're already up another 4 handles or whatever that is, that seems like a logical place to come back into here. I wouldn't want to see this candle get revisited again. Now if we get a nice good solid push up here with a big bold candle, I think this might be looking for a retracement back into here. So pull your fib tool from the low to the high, or this swing point here to that swing point there, and say, what's my premium and discount? 70% puts you here. Nothing else. It shouldn't need to get into here. There's 50% right there. Now watch this. If it holds there and opens up here, and then the next candle 2 minutes after that, if that creates our swing point at 2, then further upside. I like this in here. It's in balance right there. That was quite the spread. I think he's talking to me. Yes, I did keep. It did help. Thanks, looking for it. Okay, I'm working on holding it to a target. It's still my weak point. I took a loss going long at 933 fair value gap. If you're afraid of losing money, reduce your risk. If you're afraid of risk, think in probability. Hydra. I really liked it. So here's the thing you got to be careful of now. We have swing point here, and here's a time where we could still create a I don't want to see go below here now, just because I'm focusing on time here. I don't want to see it get below that low. I want to blow right through here. want to see it pull back. I want to see it push through. So now I don't want to see that order block here. Find support. We're really between these two right here now. I want to see that start pushing right through it. There we go. Mr. Carrot, I shall put the carrot here for you, senor. Ah yes, it's creating an imbalance here. Watch this. If that closes above the high, then that becomes an imbalance. See how the rejection block? I talk about making sure you take a piece off of the rejection block. There's a piece right there. So if I lose 3 arrays in one candle here, I'll be out before it even touches my stop loss. Because now you're getting into this consolidation. I'm stuck between these two. That candle there, we've already hit the high of it right there perfectly. Now get the hell out of Dodge. I don't want to see it keep coming back inside this little consolidating here, making one of those bull flag BS things. Which you see how it keeps banging off of this here. Next one is the open. I want to see this start to really lift off here. If it doesn't, I'll just close this out for small profit and wait. See how it's just banging around between these two? It's got to extend up higher. This is the only other PD array below it. The carrot. Let us put the carrot on some more. Thank you. Now we can move this to zero stress trade. See that little fair value gap there? I didn't see it till now. That fair value gap inversion. See how it's holding price right there? We traded above it. We come back to it, find support at it. And that's what we want to see. Now we have that little consolidation. Same kind of thing we did way back here. You want to see that find some support at it. There's the old high. You popped above it. Now if this becomes a fair value gap, it's not a fair value gap above the highs, but it's a fair value gap nonetheless. Oh, the carrot is too tempting, eh? Or let me move you a little higher. So this, I wouldn't want to see it come back inside that inversion again, but that was a nice little example of body above, come back, find support, body, wick, does the damage. One more time, wick touches the inversion and then leaves town. So again, we broke the high, so we should take a portion off there. But I'm going to try and I'm going to try and do this. What I was talking to Kirk about is trying to manage it from the back end. So this is going to be an example of trying to manage your trade from the backside. Are you guys liking this? Are you enjoying this? Is this kind of work for you? Does it seem logical enough? Are you seeing the continuous repeating patterns that we keep looking for, that provide levels of support for us. Of the 8 extra people we picked up this weekend, I hope you get to see some good examples of minute by minute watching each candle. Now we got to have a backup plan here, right? What's my backup plan if this fails? What's my minimum I'm willing to accept? Well, back to that inversion fair value gap again. I do not want to see it. I want to see this fair value gap now start to hold price. We got some imbalance. Price imbalances here. This BISI order block. I don't want to see that order block get taken now. So there's old high inside now, mean threshold or consequent encroachment. And we still haven't hit this candle's open, but I want to see this one provide us a level of support. This needs to hold price for me now. We can come back and fill it, but I don't want to see it digging any lower than that. We've not hit the high. I don't like that. I want to see that. Hit it and pop off. See it just sitting there like that? One more little pop down. I don't like it sitting there like that. See that? Pop down. Now go. You want to see it react off that now. This is not, that's not acting the way it's supposed to. You want to see that? Yes, go. I want to see it react off that now and start heading up. I do not want to see it come back down below that low now. Sorry, I'm not closing that position yet. Now I do not want to see it reach this. If it reaches and that touches that again, I'll close my trade. It's made its low as far as I'm concerned. That's my line in the sand right there. And we're back up to this order block imbalance. You want to start seeing it eat through that now. We start getting through here. My stop loss moves to the bottom of this one because that's my support. So I want to see this order block get taken. My support's here. If it comes back through that, then we've already, this fair value gap's now, the fear is this fair value gap now becomes an inversion, and then you have a body trade below that. Then I'm on the wrong side of it. We've reversed, and that's my rule for supporting anything that, if you start getting a body trading below it, unless it's in a situation like this where you're just looking to get a return on a small range, then I'm all right with that. See, now we're back up to the mean threshold, and see that big wick reaction off of that. I want to see that just keep popping through it now. This is the support you're looking for right here. Keep your eyes on these fair value gaps right here. Come on. Keep your eyes on this stuff right there. See that support? That's what you want to see with a wick and go. You want to see that nice little reaction off that like that and start moving up. No, I don't want to see this low get taken out. I'm looking for my support there. See, it's zero stress now, right? I don't care if it comes back and takes me out. I don't care. I'm just looking to try and manage this from the back end, from a logical perspective. And maybe people might say, oh, it's too close, man. You're going to get taken out. Well, so be it. I have to stick to rules. Mind you, the wick can come through here, take me out, and then still end up being up here. But that's okay. We got enough for coffee and eggs, and heading over to Derek's place for... I'm bringing the bacon, Derek. Now I'm wondering if you are reading price or you are directing directing it. It's like you're telling it what to do. Gosh, I can't wait to get to those levels. It'll come, my friend. It'll come. And it's just a matter of reading each array. And this is no different than reading a daily chart. If you get really good at reading these 1 minute charts, all the other charts won't matter. All the other charts will just be confirmation. You'll see it clear on every other chart. You just don't have to wait as long to get there on a 1 minute chart. And if you're wrong, then figure out where you went wrong and adjust accordingly. That's what a demo account's all about, man. It's practicing, practicing, practicing. And that's what we do here. We just practice. We just practice. Derek, I'm kind of liking it, but it would be better if you provided some breakfast. After all, it's the breakfast club. So when I pay my membership fee, lunch should be included. I'm sorry, I have to apologize for that. The breakfast club we call this the Extreme Continental Breakfast. It's BYOB. Bring your own breakfast. And now still SMT with NQ. NASDAQ. I'll bring my clubs. I'll bring my clubs too. I got some really nice clubs. But my golf swing is probably nowhere near as good as it. Well, it's definitely nowhere near as good as. I don't have the torque that I used to have. My back wouldn't allow it. Look at this delicious run. We are stress-free trading, my friends. Oh, looky, looky. The carrot. See that? It was reaching for the carrot. Let us move the carrot a little higher. I'm just seeing something I might think is super delicious and nutritious. Look at this. Do you guys think that this could be it? Do you think this is possible? Do you think? Perhaps. Right. Come on. Right there. Do you think that would be an upside objective today? If I put my carrot over here? And that's not a trend line. Not a trend line. Maybe, I don't know. Let's do this. Let's do this, shall we? Shall we do this? Ba-boom! There's 4. Let's put the carrot at 4 right now. That's 4 standard deviations, or 3, depending on which one you guys like to say your standard deviations start from the point of here. But that could be the, if we stab the carrot, I think that will be my, take profit up there. How's that? We're zero stress anyway, so don't know why I have that song. We watched the Emmys the other night. I just got Miley Cyrus ripping through my head over and over and over again. It's in this loop. I can buy myself flowers. I can now with $137 worth of Monopoly money. I can write my name in the sand. I can love myself better than you can. Myrtle Beach Golf next week with some buds. Start Sunday through Friday. Oh yeah. I'd love to just come and drive the cart and just have a good old chin wag. Have a good laugh. I want to be able to meet up with you guys all over the world. Go do some fun in your local area. Have a laugh. Talk trading. Meet your families. Learn a little bit about your culture. Man, that's my dream. My poor wife's going to be dragged along with me. Here's our 3.5. Oh yeah, now the MT5 spread is a little more reasonable. I wonder why it went all nutsy like that. Like it was crazy spread. Now it's probably manageable. Nepal? Doma, are you kidding me? I would love to come to Nepal. I have a friend of mine that used to teach high altitude rescue. Gerald, he's an amazing. He was my mentor when I was in paramedic school. He is used to do a lot of research stuff on high angle rescue stuff. They even have these like portable compression chambers they were trying out where it was like a bag that you could pump up and you could increase the relative pressure inside this little plastic, like a boy in a plastic bubble type thing. And he was in Nepal doing that stuff, doing these. He constantly get a whole bunch of people together and go there and do some holy Lord, look at this. We're going to get our trade before we're going to get our level 4. Okay, now I can take this thing here and I'm going to move it to holy schmackers. We might even go higher than that. Maybe we'll put it up a little higher. Let's take one off there at least. Jeepers creepers. Look at that. 4. Boom. Just hit 4. Right on the money. Let's do a partial close of 1. So our other objective was up here, was it not? Yeah, I'd love to go to Nepal. Gerald had such an awesome time there, and he was always trying to get students to go to Nepal with him to do this, these treks and stuff. Akantikwa, is that what they call it? I always call it Akataki or Akatuki or wherever it was. He always talks about it in school. How we used to do these drives there. Look at that sucker right there. I'm going to close out. What the hell? Stick with your rules, Darren. You're going to get out, so I'm getting out. They look for that. Look for the next upside objective is there. I'm happy with $1,000 this morning. That's your 4. Next objective up here. I'm from Pennsylvania, southern Pennsylvania, from a town called Campersburg. Message retracted. Are you talking about a sleeping bag structure bag? Yeah, it was like a sleeping bag thing, but it was like a plastic dome, and then you could pump air into it, and it would just get super pressurized, and it would increase. You could almost increase it by 1 atmosphere by the pressure inside the bag. So anybody who was having pulmonary edema from altitude sickness, you could actually save them with this like pressure chamber. It was like a portable pressure chamber they could pump up. It was they were experimenting with it back in the day, and it's surprising how much you can keep the lungs a lot drier. When you get back to base camp, you can really, they put it on the guy up high, and then as you come back down, you can keep the pressure up nice and high. It gets really high in there, and apparently you can get the pressure on it significantly enough that you can get somebody back to a level where you can give them some atropine and all those kind of things to help dry out some of the secretions. Does Gerald live in Nepal or some other country? Gerald lives here. Gerald's he was a paramedic instructor at one of our main institutions here in Alberta, Canada, and he's a freaking genius, amazing instructor. But presently no longer teaching. He's in his getting close to 70, I guess now. And he is so loved in the EMS community. Gerald Edwards is his name. I'll have to find out what let me text him. I'll text him right now. Stand by. I'll see if he remembers the name of it. Maybe we'll put him live on the show here. Just to answer that question while we're waiting for our carrot to get hit. Call Gerald Edwards. Hey, buddy, you're live on the show today.
I'm on the show right now.
You're live on our show today. We were talking about.
Okay.
I got one of my guys out here is talking about Nepal, and I was telling him about the amazing guy Gerald Edwards and all the amazing things you used to do in Nepal. And we were talking about that bag. Remember that atmospheric bag you were telling us about, where you pump it up and it increases the atmosphere, decreases that pulmonary edema?
Okay, so for one thing, I haven't been to Nepal. I've spent a lot of time in South America,
South
the
America.
Antarctic.
Okay, what was the name? Was it
And,
Acantigua?
pardon me?
What's that name called? Is it Acantigua, Tucantigua? What is the name of the mountain you were always on?
Aconcagua.
Aconcagua. Okay, so sorry guys, it was not Nepal.
And then the other one is Vincent Massif,
Okay.
down by the South Pole.
Oh, by the South Pole. Okay, yeah. So what's the name of this bag? One of these guys were talking about. I was telling him.
Gamov bag. Gamov. Gamov.
Gamoff bag. Okay. Gamoff bag. Okay.
Gamov, and it was developed by a fellow in France. And his last name was Gamov.
Ah, okay. There you go. There you go, guys. Sorry, It wasn't Nepal. I thought he was in Nepal. So maybe he was telling us he was in Nepal because he was trying to impress us because we were students back then, and he was he was trying to dazzle us. Well, thanks, Gerald. I just wanted to confirm that. I'll give you a call back after the show.
You bet.
Okay.
Talk to you later.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
There you go. There you have it. From Gerald's ears, it's called a Gamoff bag. And no, he was not in Nepal. He's in South America and the South Pole. So anyway, there's our target hit for the day. The carrot is a tempting feast for the algo today. We're loving it. It hit exactly where we're looking for on multiple occasions today. So yeah, we're definitely price legged out there. So, oh, look at that, still running for the carrot. I'll keep putting it up there a little higher. So, oh my God, that's Gamoff bag. Finally, I recall that we were also trained about that when we were in trekking guide training. Targets hit, nice day. Nice. Yeah, so anyway, Gerald's done lots of that crazy stuff, man. He was a genius when it came to high angle, high altitude rescue stuff. He used to do our rescue stuff when we were in school. We talk about hypothermia, and you make sure you everybody have to take your clothes off. And we're always trying to get the girls say, hey, this would be a good time to practice, don't you think? They're like, yeah, no. We're like, yeah, just climb inside the sleeping bag. Yeah, they never fell for it for some reason. Look at this carrot. It is so delicious today for the algo. Yeah, we did some really cool high angle rescue stuff in Canmore. I've hung off the side of the cliff. Nice warm day. Hundreds of feet off the deck. Looking down. Doing picking. I got some really cool pictures. I might put them in the community there. Start showing some pictures. So here's that potential swing point for the afternoon, or sorry, for the hour. Tarek that we're talking about. This could be what we call the Crazy Ivan, or what I affectionately call the Crazy Ivan. Could be a look back and then a continuation to the upside. Next few minutes to do that. And it may be just a few candles that it does it with, or it may be just a deep retracement or deep look. So from here to there, if that's the swing, look for 50%, 62%. Does that line up with the high, the consequent encroachment, or the low of that candle, if that is the swing point? You know what I'm saying? So when you're looking at these swings, you look for the little tiny bit of swing that wherever works for you. Now, if it takes that high out, forget what I'm telling you here, because it's not gonna. Well, there's 50%. Sorry, let's do a retracement. There you go. So then you say to yourself, what inside this? If that high holds and we get this little swing that happens back into this range. 50% puts you here. And what does 62% do? 62% puts us right on, is it the mean threshold of that candle? Is it the mean threshold of this candle right here? I'm just going to check this out here, just out of curiosity. And look at that, 50% mean threshold. So if that swing holds, is that a logical place for it to come back to? Well, you guys decide for yourself in a second. You guys decide for yourself. There's your 50% of the range. This is the Crazy Ivan. Man, the charts, this is what happens when we get a nice, if we get into some smooth air. I'm going to talk hang gliding terms now, when I used to hang glide. We get into this smooth air, man, you can get a nice good lift. And then you can see some nice, really clean arrays that provide levels of support for price. Like, I just love this. It just works so nicely when the algo is in a clean trending up. Like Michael probably nailed it today. He probably bought a whole bunch of this stuff. We just bought 2 spots in there and got them. You guys, Derek or Kirk, are you still in this? Are you still riding this up? You get a nice lift off like that, man. Oh man, we had a 4 banger extension here, and we had a whole price, 2 double price leg run, and we're still climbing. And look at this, right off of that 50% of that range. If that continues up now, there's your crazy guy. Man, it's just doing everything we want it to do. Have you ever spent any moment in a gamma? No, I've never done it. The best I've ever had is what we used to have these things called pneumatic anti-shock garments, or shock pants. They're just like these big pants you wrapped around somebody. You pump them up and it squeezes, auto transfuses like 200 cc's of blood out of your legs, increases peripheral vascular resistance, and increases blood flow back towards the core. And we used to put these shock pants back on people. Rare back in the day. They were like very seldom used. They just pretty much bled people out faster. That's all. That's the only thing I've ever been inside for pressure-wise. And I've never been inside a Gamoff bag. No, he never brought one to class for us to see. They're pretty expensive. It is terrible to stay there. If we mess with that, my traders used to tell us, or trainers used to tell us, what is the maximum elevation you have ever been at? Oh, the maximum elevation I've ever climbed up to? Ooh, probably Mount Assiniboine in here in Alberta. Don't know what the elevation is there. Probably 5,000. I'm guessing 5,000 feet above sea level. Not very high. That's going to make me wonder. What's the altitude of Mount Assiniboine in Alberta? Oh, that's 11,000 feet. I haven't been on the peak. The highest peak is 11,000 feet. So I would say I wasn't too far from the peak. That's 11,800 feet. So I would probably say, yeah, anyway, between 8,000 maybe. 8,000 feet. About the highest I've ever been. I'm out of here too. Quit with while I'm ahead. See you all tomorrow. See ya. Don't forget the thumbs up for Darren. Thanks, Abs. That was fun. That was a really good morning. I've enjoyed that so far. I think I'll go for another 20 minutes or so just before lunch, and then I'm going to join Derek in the old eggs, bacon and eggs. I'm going to make a bacon and egg buddy like we used to make back in England. I got some British bacon today, so do a bacon egg buddy. And I might pop back in. I've got an appointment this afternoon, so I'll be in again tomorrow. That's just Monday. We're just looking at, we just happen to catch an ideal kind of run for the day today, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that. You got something out of it. You get to see a minute by minute analysis and see that it's not random, that we were calling, every candle we were calling was coming to us. Now, if my buddy Tex is listening to this, notice nothing we did today was based on news events in the world, any boardroom meetings that are going on inside the companies that are supported inside this E-mini S&P, 500 of them. We have no idea all the shenanigans that's going on in politics, and did that affect our charts? Did it affect the precision in which we called the charts today? Did we use Bollinger Bands and MACD and Elliott Wave and all that other stuff? Nope. None of it. Did we use fundamentals? Did we go into the news and look for news releases? Did we go into none of that stuff? And yet we could call it minute by minute, candle by candle. Is it random? Or is it algorithmically driven, do you figure? You decide. Or maybe there's a NQ for the win. I was able to make my loss back, and I'm done. Good for you, NS. I love this stream, especially the cold call to friends. Yeah, I'm not bullshitting you. When I tell you about my life, you're going to say, there's no way that guy's done all that stuff. I am not bullshitting you. Everything that I tell you that I've done, I'm not out to impress you. I've had a very crazy kind of life. I've done a lot of things, had a lot of fun. I've experimented. I'm a firm believer in invent yourself, reinvent yourself, and have adventures, find experiences. I'm all for that stuff. So everything I tell you, I'm not bullshitting you. I might have some of the facts wrong, like my buddy was not in Nepal. Maybe he wanted to arrange a trip to Nepal, but Gerald is he's an amazing guy. I love that guy. I love him so much. He's such an awesome guy. And the students absolutely love that guy. So, yeah. You're going to hear lots of crazy stories that I've done, things that I've done. But if you want them fact-checked, I can fact-check. It's not really that important. I'm just having fun with you guys. But, yeah, I've done some interesting things. And I plan to do a hell of a lot more. And I'm going to start posting it on here. That's why I want to meet up with some of you guys and have these experiences with people around the world. 11,000 feet is nothing. It's just 3,000 meters. Around, I've been up to 5.5k meters. Spent 3 days there. Holy crap. No wonder the name Sherpa. That is craziness. That is some serious height. That's nothing. We drove our motorcycles. Oh yeah, I have to find out how high was. We drove our motorcycles up over a ridge once. I didn't get up into the snow belt. 5 kilometers up. That's insanity, man. But good for you, Sherpa. Now that's an experience. I'm not a cold guy. I don't like cold. You know, scuba diving, the deepest I've ever been in scuba diving is probably 120, 130 feet. But then it's too dark and I can't see anything, so why go down there anyway? But I have swam with sharks. I've swum with bull sharks, reef sharks. I've swam the Great Barrier Reef. I've spent 5 days on the liveaboard. Actually, probably up to, I guess it would be more like 10 days on liveaboards now in Australia, inner reef, outer reef. Yeah, I've done some diving in some really cool places, and I want to do that place in Iceland. Anybody want to go do an Iceland dive where the two continental shelves are coming together, and you dive this? You got to drive it in a dry suit, but you get down there and you can literally almost reach out and touch the one continental shelf on the east side and the west continental shelf on the other side, and you swim between them, and they're coming together in a very slow geological kind of way, but it's really cool to swim in this trough between the two shelves. Yeah, need to get going. Have a great day. We'll post on Telegram if I have something to share. Talk to you later. Thanks again, Derek, man. You're awesome. I love you, man. Thank you. And thank you for what you're doing. I like how you read price. 3,000 meters elevation. There is. I have a beautiful. We have a beautiful village. That's awesome. Your red blood cells must be packed. You must be packed with red. You must be. When you bleed, you must bleed syrup. You'd have polycythemia like you wouldn't believe. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. Okay, so we're filling up the Fair Value Gap. What are we at here? 48, 50. These are turn points. Consolidation breakdown below. You want to see this get above us now, and this becomes a new projection on this kind of thing we did here. Projection up higher. this break below, pop up back up, come back into this thing and get higher. So this breaker we have here, this run below these lows, if we either come back into this, find some support, continue down, or come up, blow through this, come back up, find support at this way and go back up. So carrot, we did a good carrot today. This feels like it's going down for a bit now. There's links in my the bio description above. You can chat with me over there on Telegram. We have our Telegram account that everybody kind of gets to after hours when I'm off, not talking to you guys on the show here. I'm available on Telegram. We have some banter back and forth in there about where we think charts are going to go. Derek and I usually post something on the weekends where we think the charts will go for the rest of the week, or at least for the opening of the week. And yeah, you can get into chats and stuff in there. You can DM me in there. I'll also have Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. You can find me at Darren Hancock on any one of those. I post on all of those channels. I'm also in a bunch of other different channels, like futures, forex channels in Facebook, and I'll start posting things like this session today will be posted in there, so we can help out more people who are interested in learning or at least applying this kind of approach to market analysis. So you can contact me on there, Sherpa. Is that a setup on NQ? Oh yeah. Man, oh man, this was a really good trade this morning. Have we taken that? And see that leg? There's that first leg, second leg after the consolidation, first leg out, second leg is up, 50% of it's right there, so that will be the first one, second one. Nice, that's a really nice retracement there. And notice the time. Tyree, notice the time. 11:30. This was a nice little break-in market structure here with a body breaker inside of fair value gap. How many times have you heard this setup? Oh my goodness. Kirk, you've been telling me, hey man, NQ for the win. I think you were telling me NQ for the win back here. But look at this. Breaker, last up close candle before run below a low. We break market structure on the downside with a down close candle. A body breaks this. I like to see a body break through that. We break through, we retrace all the way back into breaker. And then what? Slammo. All the way back to a logical area. If you pull your fib from here to here and you start to say, what is a logical array I could reach for that's in a premium breaker inside a fair value gap. Hello, load the bus and go short to a discount array. Fair value gap, premium. There's your 50. So fair value gap, discount, fair value gap, discount. Okay, look at this one right here. Premium, discount. Inside that range. Like arrays go from like array to like array. Literally clipped it right there. Back up. Breaker. Here, I might even try this one myself. Short. Oh, I don't even have my trading gooper on here. For broker. Burp. Burp. Right there. And if we're wrong, we'll just be right above here. So look at this array. So if this forms at a time we're expecting at 55, 56, yep, that's a turning point anyway. But then you got 58 as well, so it's a double zero, so it's 2 and a 7. So this is where we can get bashed around in here, but that's a nice little enter right at the top of that. Go short, breaker inside there. I like that as a short. Looking for this array right here. So like array to like array right there. So just for a quick little nibble bit of profit, I'll take it right at the top. I'm okay with that. We could run down into here as well as a leg extension. There you will see me as Fur by Sherpa. Thank you for that info. Yeah, you're welcome. Just pop in anytime, man. There's we have a little chat there on Telegram. You're all welcome. It's a community where we're just sending out the love, man. I'm not selling anything. I'm just trying to show you how I trade, or how I read, not trade, how I read the markets. And I could be completely wrong. And believe me, there's times I'm out in left field. You may think I'm out in left field. And call me on it. Say, I don't understand where you're going from. And I'll try. If I can't explain my logic, it's like when I used to teach EMS, ambulance stuff. And I used to say to my students, why? It is the one thing that will kill you, or the one thing that will make you grow. Now, I don't like this. We've just come back into here. So I don't want to see the body break that high. Otherwise, this becomes inversion, and we start to get support on this to run further higher. And don't forget, our overall objective is higher long term. So when you're counter trending your long term trade, then you got to be careful. Pick your levels to get out at. Look at that 50% sitting right there. I just saw that now. That might be a place to get a piece off there. Or at least now move my stop loss, manage it from the back end. I'm only going to risk $10. Yeah, so I used to say, why? You know, if I can't answer your question why when I'm teaching you something, I need to go back and find that information for you. That's my job as an instructor, is to make sure that any question you ask me, if it's in the context of the trading, then I give the answer. If I don't know it, then I'll go find it. So if I have a trade on and I'm thinking why, right now I like this body getting below here. See this? This becomes inversion for me now. Provided we have a body and not just a wick. There's the 50%. Could take a piece off there. Should have. Am I going to say I shoulda, coulda, woulda? Shall I move that into there? Make $30. Pay for my trade in case this screws up on me. There's the 50%. That's all it needs right there of that little range. Now I want to see the body push through this. Close off here. Got 17 seconds. It needs to close below that low. I will explain to you why. If I'm wrong, I'll explain to you the rationale behind what I'm doing. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't care. I don't care if you don't even, if you don't like what I'm doing, then that's fine. I'll explain it. If I'm not right, I'm not right. I got no problem licking my wounds if I'm wrong. I'm just putting it out there for you guys. Just putting it out there. So yeah, that's the whole objective. If you want me to explain my rationale, I try to explain it as I'm doing it. And see, that to me, it's a logical place for it to come to. It's a discount array. It's an order block there. Then I expect to see that kickoff between those two. And I don't have a bunch of lots on there to play with, so we'll make enough for a coffee. Piece there, you can take a piece off and make $200. Okay, so here, I'll let you come up to here. We had a body close below it. Nice. I like to see that. See that? That's a nice sign. Signs, signs, everywhere the signs. Blocking out the scenery. Breaking my mind. Do this, don't do that. Can you read the signs? La, 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 la. See, my mind just rips into a song. That's what all it's about, the love, my friends. It's about the love. Oh no, we hit our objective. We just hit $350. What? Was that logical? Wait, I should have checked the fundamentals. I should have found out if there was any news events being released. Damn. That's lucky. That was pure luck. Pure luck. I had no idea what I was doing there. Talking out of my arse I was. Talking out of my arse I was, let me tell you. So, anyway, you wanted to lose that mean threshold now and start heading for here. There you'll see me as for sure. Thank you for that info. So perfect. It means I started to identify setups. Yes. Sherpa, I like it, man. When you start to recognize that shit, like you just saw right there. We just saw a breaker inside a fair value gap, slammo, back to a discount array, rinse and repeat, breaker inside a fair value gap, slam to a discount, rinse and repeat. Same thing. Same freaking thing. And the trend line people are slapping trend lines in here. And it's all bullshit. Sorry to say. The trend line thing. Don't buy into the trend line thing. The logic behind your trend line that you have right here was right there. And it's just simply array to array. That just is a coincidence that it's lining up. Don't buy into that whole trend line BS. Because it really is. And I apologize if you're a retail trader who's been taught that. I do not want to undermine what you've been learning, but really, if your logic is simply that line has to touch that line, has to touch that line, and there's no logic other than they're pretty and they touch each other, if you do have a logic behind it, ignore what I just said. I do not mean to insult anybody. Back to this inversion, by the way. Order block. I like this guy up here. I'm looking to see if that holds price now. We'll start off with the bottom one. We've already, this is an imbalance here. No, this is called a fair value gap. It's a price rebalance. That's considered like a fair value gap right now. So look right up to here. Mean threshold. Inside the mean threshold of that. Sorry, consequent encroachment. It's called consequent encroachment, but you'll hear me say mean threshold. It's just a midpoint. I should just call it bloody midpoint instead of like correct over and over and over again. Anyway, let's look inside here, wait and see what we got here. And strangely enough, with this phantom line connect. And what time is it? Next 2 minutes. We could see this turning point right here. If we lose the midpoint, it's okay. We'll come up with another theory. But right now, that's the line in the sand I want to see. Hold price. And where are we headed for? This array here, this little discount piece in here. Ah. Delicious and nutritious. We're above mean threshold. Good. Now we want to see this extend. We got 1 more minute for the next swing. Look in here now. This is good. I like this array down that's forming down in here for a premium and a discount. Scalping is harder than position sizing trade, yeah. There's the top of that fair value gap inversion. We've come back, we've filled it. We've come back inside it again. We've got a body that trades above this guy here, right there. See that? I'm not drawing them out. I'm getting sloppy here because now we're at 10 o'clock and I said I was going to leave at 10, but anyway, this is what you guys should be drawing out every freaking time if you want to stay like golden on this stuff. We're talking about here. I was talking about getting back into here. Well, look, it broke through the midpoint or the high of that, so that becomes support to drive higher. Now you're between this guy here. Look at this. Ask yourself this question. If this is the range we're sitting in, because see how we're compressing here? Compress, compress, compress. It's getting smaller and smaller. That's your premium array. That's your discount array. Which one are you in right now? Where are you sitting? And is it worth it for you taking trades inside here? Some of you may say, hey, look, that's still 10 handles. I'm in. Okay, well then there's your order block. You want to make sure it's on the bottom of that. You want to be able to pop off of that to come back into that to get short here into this order block or this fair value gap. So you're between here and the beginning of that. See that? You've come back up inside it. The moment you break that there. So you've just broken it. It's now a valid order block. Now you want to see it push through to get to here or pop back up into this area here and then drive down. They're overlapping, so these, to me, they're not even worth playing in. When you get into consolidations this tight, look inside the range, and you're just playing inside PD arrays. Now, higher, the high one, the low one, high one, low one, high one, low one. So you're gonna bounce back and forth between these. The next one is run back down in here. So we come back up into here where we were talking. Now we're looking to come back down into here. Or does this provide a level of support and we start running up higher? And that stays open. But see, now we're digging into it. There's your first entry, second entry, third entry. If you're looking for what? What would you look for? Your rejection blocks? That's pretty much all you got left. Other than that order block there, if you're going to roll over If you think it's going to come down now, you've got to have support off this order block. And you're going to have support off this inversion. See, there's your order block. Tippy tappy. Now you want to see it provide support and come down. If it doesn't provide support, if we eat all the way through it, then we got the mean threshold of that guy. And that's in a premium portion. So there's your mean threshold. Hit. Also the mean threshold, consequent encroachment of that inversion. See how this one here is providing the support we talked about, going higher. Now that you've lost that, you have to say to yourself, okay, I've lost my mean threshold. Am I out of my trade now? That was my line in the sand, right? When they're overlapping like this, you just get beat up in consolidation. So wait for a nice little clean exit. So in here, I'd want to see it bust out of this zone here. Otherwise, you're just going to look for a ramping. As this is happening now, I'm looking at a ramping. So ramp, get your foothold. Ramp, get your foothold. Ramp, get your foothold. And then start climbing out of it like this. So you watch these steps starting to occur now as it starts to climb up. Trendline people are looking for trends. We're looking for steps to find a logical level of support. Right? I'm just trying to, I don't even know where these trendy, but people would put their trendy lines. If those two are connecting, they would got excited there, it ran through you. Well, now some people believe, I guess if you trade through it and back into it, you're getting short. That's a break in the trend line. I don't know how you even use that as a level of support. You're constantly, if you were here, you go, oh great, next up I'm just going to extend my line now. And if it does it, then, oh, it broke through me. Oh, good, now I'm on the way down. Oh, no, it's back up again. I don't even know how you'd even support a trend line idea. But anyway. So here's the step. See that? Body. Right on the opening. See how that's the high? We've come back to the leg, found some support out. I like the wick. So I'm watching the wicks as well. So when you're really studying your price action, watch that reaction off of that. If it's like snap, it snaps back right away. It's like I just came back to my data point and blammo, I'm off. If it sits there and hovers like this, then I don't like those, because those are the ones that end up jamming right down and your trend line phantoms get blown out. It ends up running right through them. Your mean threshold, if that mean threshold gives away, look, so you know we're back to the edge of that inversion. Tap it, react off of it. See that reaction perfectly? And again, I don't care if it drives through it. I just like to see that snap off of it. Now back to that guy. Inside this guy here, so I guess right there would be fine. That stays open. That's an inversion now. We have a body traits below it. See how you have to kind of keep in mind what you're looking at back here. It's not just this guy now, it's this little guy here, because we're compressing. You're waiting for this spring, like a cold spring. It's compressing tighter and tighter until eventually it has to pop, right? So we saw that, came back to here. Great. Now where are you going to go? Are you going to go to the next one? The next one? You're at this mean threshold on this one, so are we going to go to the mean threshold of that one? Like arrays? That's the midpoint. So just out of curiosity, see if it goes to the midpoint of that candle. Lori, my man, we missed you, brother. We had such an awesome day today. We had so much fun. We did a little house cleaning. We did some awesome price reading. You know what? It's not harder than position sizing, Doma. It's just that you haven't studied the 1 minute charts. You haven't studied the price action enough. It won't matter. Trust me, it won't matter what time frame you're on, position trading or not. Once you understand what the candles are doing, even on a 1 minute, you'll understand what they're doing for those big position size trades you like to take on the 4 hour or the 1 hour or the daily, the weekly, whatever you do. If you study this stuff cleanly enough, and you get it, you understand it, everything else above all those other time frames just means that's your style. If you're a position trader and you like to position your long trades in on a 4 hour chart, this could be a 4 hour chart. This could be a daily, a weekly chart. Doesn't matter. What you see on here is absolutely going to be the same kind of stuff you're going to see on a weekly chart. So your position trading stuff should not change the chemistry in your brain. Get excited about this. This stuff is the same stuff you're going to see on your position trades, your swing trades, all that other stuff. It's not harder at all. It's exactly the same damn thing. See, we're back into that discount array now. Small range. We came back into this. We didn't quite hit the, I didn't see that. Crap. There's an imbalance right here. Little price imbalance. See that? We just hit the edge of it. I was talking about the midpoint imbalance. See, my brain's getting, you can get tired after a while. You can miss some simple things. That could be a good support. Now, you need to see the mean threshold get taken. Here's that trend line break I was telling you about. Back to the mean threshold. Sorry, consequent encroachment of the SIBI. Also, fill the fair value gap, tap it. See how it's hanging out here? It's not snapping off of it. Come on down. Wick, body, lowest to close candle, small imbalance. Now go back to either a premium, find some support off of this and start kicking back down. But see how we're kind of banging between here and here and here? We're right off of these premium and discount arrays. See that? In that range that we're in here. That's why you can get beat up into consolidation, because you're stuck with when the arrays start to almost overlap one another, you're going to get beat up inside them. Yes, they're still hitting illogical levels, but you really got to be on the ball to catch these things and be confident that if you're going to short that there, that your stop loss is there, and if it takes it out, then you're above your inversion here. You see what I'm saying? Is you have to constantly keep looking at multiple levels back to confirm your trade plan. And I'll say it again, you got to have a trade plan, and you got to be prepared. If you're managing it from the back end or from the front end, you got to be prepared to say, if it crosses this line on the back end, I'm out, because that's a logical level. It should not break. So you got to be able to trade both sides of it. You're reading your 1 minute candle in one direction, and you're reading it in the opposite direction. You're supporting your price in one direction, and you're backing up your stop loss on the other side. You're not just randomly trailing it to the nearest swing point. You're looking for a logical place to say, it should not break this now, because if it does, that means it's breaking structure and it's moving in the opposite direction. Then I'll get out there. That's fine. And be okay with it. You should be okay with each direction that this thing trades, and and know that your trade plan, and again, it's got to be flexible. You got to be able to change that thing on the fly. Say I'm wrong, or I'm on the wrong side. Be okay with that. Like if this trades through this now and you go, oh, we're not going long anymore. We broke this with a body. Come back, find support. Okay, I was going long. I'm going short now. Trade it up. We're in a consolidation, so you're looking for an ass kicking. But if that was a break in market structure to the downside, kind of came back up, closed off of here with a body, you go, sweet. Now I know the direction we're headed. And just be okay with it. You're going to take losses. Guaranteed you're going to take losses. Yes, exactly. We are this. Exactly. All are the same, but in low time frame forms multiple setups which lead to loss if we are not well by psychology. I totally agree with you, Sherpa. your head, reading the charts, it ends up getting I'm not going to say it easy because it's not. It gets clearer reading it, and then the thing you end up trading against is your own head. Like for me, that was a super clean trade. It looked very logical. We were explaining the logic of this entry this morning, and I was calling this run back up right here as this is starting to form. Like this was the place, that big snap off there at the time in the price. I was calling for this could be going long now. The psychology wasn't strong enough to say, just take it. Your stop loss can go here. You're all right. It's a small loss. Massive freaking gain if you're right. So, you're right. The psychology is, I'm still battling that. Those of you who've been around for a while have already heard me say, I used to take thousands of trades. I used to chase every damn candle going. I thought I had it all dialed. No idea what I was doing. Nothing. Yes, really good short opportunity. Took at 12:14. 12:14. Let's see if we can figure out where Lori got his 12:14. Okay, 12:14. Let me see if I got you right here, Lori. 12:4, 5, 12:13, 14, right here. So order block, he's inside here, it comes off of here, 12:14. He sees this fair value gap here. We drop below it. Yeah, I'm not sure what you got in on there, Lori. Unless you saw this and said they're not. They just poked above these equal highs here, inside the range, or came back off that breaker, found some support off the breaker, and then start coming back down again. If you kept going off the breaker to the discount, off the breaker to the discount, off the breaker, drive even deeper into a discount, then man, that's awesome. 3 trades off the breaker. 1 off the breaker, boom, off this breaker, off the breaker again, off the breaker again. And each one you're reaching for the discount here. Off the breaker again, discount on the next little range that you're in. So the discount array is that fair value gap. Push back up, breaker again. Now either you're coming back to here, which would be from there to there, which is still 108 to, let's say, 8 handles. If you got off that candle and you're aiming for here, or a discount array again, then the only one you got left, because we're in the premium portion, is to aim for this one again. Now we've got this one here. So Lori, dang man. Oh, it was a really good short opportunity, but just to the low of 11.49. I like that. See, body close below. Again, come back up. Didn't quite get in there. Tippy tap. Body breaks below. You don't even get a chance to get on now. Mean threshold is gone. See how it traded below it? And we're going for a fill of that bigger range now. So there's your bigger discount. Digging into here. Oh yeah, eating through that. Now we got to run. Now we got to break in structure. Now y'all got to break in structure. So take your fib tool or your tool now, move it out to the side like this. Get rid of this for a second. What time are we looking at? 22, 24, 3 minutes. 3 minutes could be a swing here to push further down. Ooh, we'll get back into this mitigation block here. That'd be nice. Or even in here. It's 12:30. It's 12:30, my friends. Keep your eye on this area right in here, this little mitigation block. This breaker. I'm kind of looking at between there and there. This stays open, that's a breakaway gap. That's all it could need right there. Just turn around and start coming back down. But you're in a discount. Be picky about when you want your trade, man. If you just want to get there and you're absolutely sure it's going to keep running in a lunch hour, that it's going to keep running all the way down for these lows, then go for it. But find your rule and follow your rule now. Bodies of the candles are respecting that. You see that? Came up near the mean threshold. Bodies respecting that inversion now. Driving for lower prices. Whatever your theory, again, that's just what I just came up with now. I say, okay, I like that idea. It just found support here. I want to see it break below this low, come back up and find support at that, ideally. There you go. Now this becomes a valid order block now. Close below it. I like this, this, and this. And hopefully not touching the high. We don't want wicks just wicking through, just stealing trades. Right? You want to see it. There's the body. What time are we at? 27? Yeah, this could be a turning here. Anyway, we're into lunch. I'm gonna go because I've got an appointment this afternoon. I have to see my back guy, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Again, super fun day today. I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. I think we were nailing some awesome details, some awesome precision today. We got we hauled a couple of pips out of the old. Couple of shekels out of the market this morning, which is good. So yeah, that was fun. I love you guys. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for sharing your time with me. I know you have plenty of opportunities out there. Lauriston, thank you again, man, for turning up. I'm going to head out now. I'm going to see my doctor, follow up with my buddy Gerald, and we will see you guys tomorrow. If you have anything you want to chat with, again, pop on Telegram there. You'll see the link in the description above. I'm also on Facebook, LinkedIn, and X as well. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for popping in as usual. Great times, and it's my pleasure there, Kirk.